Hi, in this video I want to explain how to work with recorded LGMV files. There are many different options to do that. I just want to explain how I am doing that. I am using a tool provided by LG headquarters. This tool turns recorded LGMV files into more organized data with consequent columns and heads. The rest is just Excel skills. I found this approach very helpful, and yes, this video is for technicians who already know what LGMV is. As you know, LGMV records its data into several Excel files, as you can see. For the method I'm going to explain, you need to have a file named personal. You can download this file from the link below the video. Don't change its name. Just copy and paste it to the following folder. On your computer, on the C drive, you need to find folder named Microsoft. In Microsoft folder, there should be Excel folder. And in Excel folder, the folder named XL Start. You need to copy and paste the file named Personal into the folder named XL Start. Once again, do not change its name. On some corporate laptops, the Microsoft folder might be hidden. In this case, you need to check box on hidden items in the View tab before you start searching this folder. Next step, you need to adjust some settings in your Excel. Open any of your Excel files, then go to the File tab on the top left corner. Then go to Options. In Options, find Quick Excel Toolbar. In the drop-down menu, select All Commands. Search for Color Scales. Select the color scales and press Add it to your priorities. Next, look for more scatter charts. And the same way, add it to your priorities. Then you press OK and the setting window will close. After all these adjustments, these two signs will appear on the top of your Excel file. When you open any of LGMV recorded file, it will look like this. On top, it has data recorded information of the file. It has gaps between column heads, several gaps, bigger gaps. It makes challenging to work with file made by LGMV. When we set file named personal in the folder, like was explained before, when you press Ctrl+Shift+J, the file will turn into more organized columns with its heads. No gaps between columns, nice organized data. Let's close it for now. We are going to change the file while working with it. It is better to create a copy. If you make changes in original files, they wouldn't be read by LGMV anymore. You might need original files to resend them later, or you might need to review them by LGMV again. So let's work with copy of the file. Now, once it's opened, we press Ctrl+Shift+J and the view of the file turns into this one. So, I choose this recording with purpose. The multi-V system during recording had error codes happened for very short period of time, few seconds, and then recovered for normal operation. Here is CH34 again. It wouldn't be seen if I have reviewed files by LGMV. Here, look, CH29. Let's step a little bit back now. When LGMV recording the data, it records it into several files. All recorded files combined by the same name, the name you put when you set recording. The end of each file name has different letters and numbers. So ODU, it stands for Outdoor Unit. ODU1 contains main parameters of outdoor unit. ODU2 contains electrical parameters for outdoor unit. IDU files contains information about indoor unit. HR contains information about heat recovery boxes. Now let's make a copy of ODU1 file and play around with it. Press Ctrl+Shift+J and you have nice organized table. Before we move forward, I recommend to save file. You go to File, Save As, and you need to save it as Excel file, XLSX. If you save it as original SCV extension file, once you close it, all your changes will gone. So very important, you need to save it as Excel file. Let's say you want to visualize the data changes. For example, let's select Trace Pressure column. Then press Color Scale function we added before. Select a nice coloring option. And you see down the column, when parameter changes, it changes its color. As lower the number, it turns more red, and as higher the number, it turns more green. You can adjust it if it's necessary. Creating charts is a very important skill to visualize and spot the problem. Let's make a pressure chart as an example. First, we need to select x-axis. Let's say time, selecting time column. Second, I'm pressing and hold Ctrl button and selecting all 6 trace pressure columns. Once all items selected, press Scatter Charts button, select Smooth Lines, press OK, and voila! We have pressure chart. You can do charts for any parameters you believe are helpful. In the chart, it gives explanation for each line. You can click Quick Layout drop-down and select any layout that you believe works best for you. You see, you can have line explanation on side. Just play around and find which works best for you. We did time values on x-axis. If we need to narrow the chart to the spot area, we need to have values with consequent numbers on the x-axis. Let me show you example to be clear. You can use first column with citer logs. One citer is the moment when all parameters was captured. However, I would recommend to make minutes column and attach our chart to the minutes. We insert a new column, right-click, insert, name it minutes. You need to find how many seconds between each recording log. In this recording, it's 5 seconds. In the minutes column, we'll make a simple formula. So type equal citer cell divided by 12. In our case, we got 12 by dividing 60 seconds in a minute by 5 seconds our interval logs. You press Enter, then you point your mouse on the right bottom corner of that cell with formula, double click, and this formula will go to the end of the data column. Now, as you can see, we started with 0.083 minute, and after 1 minute of log, we have 1.083 minute. It means our formula is good. Now, let's do the same chart with the trace pressures, but with minutes in the x-axis. This file is from Data Logger. It has 24 hours of data. We have 1440 minutes in total, which seems true. While working with recordings, you will have a lot of charts and you need to organize them. Let's make a new Excel sheet. Name it, for example, pressures. Left-click in empty spot on the chart. Press and hold Ctrl button. Same click into empty spot in another chart. Then I press Ctrl X, which is cut of the chart. Switch to the pressure sheet and press Ctrl V into the new sheet. Voila! Charts are separate. You can work with them here, you can compare the charts, you can cut them and paste into your email or in other documents, in other reports. Very nice. Now let's go back to the example with the spotting problem areas. As I mentioned, this recording is tricky. This recording has errors happen very shortly and then recover them to the normal operation. You see, it happened for 10 seconds and then recovered. I would say again, you will not notice that if you just review the recorded files with LGMV. Let's make a chart for error codes. Same way as was explained. When you select scatter with smooth line, you can't really see when error codes happened. Let's do it again. For error codes column, as it has a lot of empty cells, it is better to use scatter with smooth lines and markers. Now it's more visible when error codes happened. If you point your mouse on the chart graph, it will show you the value. First, CH34 happened after 60 minutes from the beginning of recording. Then again 34 and CH29. CH29 is compressor overcurrent. Now let's make a chart for current values and narrow it down when the error happened. Let's find out when CH29 happened and with which unit. Making the same chart for error unit. First error happened under number 2, which is slave 1 unit. The second error the same on the slave 1 unit. Then CH29 happened on master unit. And the last 2 errors was happened on the slave 2 unit. Now let's find out when CH29 happened. Click into empty cell in the error column. Press Ctrl, Shift and down. It will skip you directly when the value starts in the column. Then I'll do it again and again until I reach CH29. Here it is. The error happened on 867th minute of the recording. Let's narrow it to the range from 850 to 870th minute. I will make a new Excel sheet and name it CH29, for example. As I mentioned, CH29 is overcurrent error. The electrical data recorded in the file named ODU2. I will make current related charts in ODU2 file and transfer these charts here into this file. I'll speed up recording. Click on the empty spot on the chart, press and hold Ctrl button and select all of them. Now cut the charts and paste it into ODU1. Let's add the chart when error happened as well. Extend the chart, let's say up to the end of the X column. Don't do it to the end of the screen, you will see why. Now point your mouse on the numbers of the X-axis. Right-click on the mouse and the menu option will pop up. Horizontal X-axis values will be selected as well. Select and click on Format Axis line. Now you can set the range of values you want to see on the chart. As we pointed before, CH29 happened in a range between 850th minute to 870th. Click to another window to set the value, and voila, we have a 20-minute graph. Let's do the same for the rest of the charts on this page. Now let's check if we can find something. Nothing extreme happened with inverter compressors. On the constant speed compressor current chart, we can see that only one compressor was running. Maybe one, maybe not. You can filter the graph. Click into the chart area. Click on the filter sign appeared. Here you can select the charts you want to see. Deselect all of them and check box for constant compressor on the master unit only. Press apply. We can see only one line now. Then I will do the opposite. Select all of them except constant speed compressor for master unit. It's clear now that only one constant compressor was running. Now we have a clue number one. The constant speed compressor in master unit was running about 10 minutes and overcurrent error code happened in master unit in less than a minute after constant speed compressor stopped. The second clue. We have a spike in inverter phase current before the error happened and constant speed compressor stopped. By filtering the lines, we can see that spike happened on master unit and slave 2 unit. The clue number 3. Another spike happened on the slave 2 fan phase current. Based on all this information, I would go with standard procedure of checking diode bridge and inverter board on master unit, and need to check fan motor on slave 2 unit with its board. Once again, this kind of situations you cannot spot just reviewing the data from LGMV software. Some files generated by LGMV are like this. Usually it's new generation 5 units. It has these property information lines. In this case, before you activate Ctrl+Shift+J function, you need to delete these rows. Once you delete them, it works fine. The second thing, in some recordings, mode generated in numbers. Some files, like this one, has actual words cool, heat, off for mode. The same is in heat recovery box data. In this case, if you need to track which mode unit was running or was calling, do the following. Click on the top cell of the column value, press Ctrl, Shift and down. It will select all values to the end. Go to the Find and Select drop-down. Select Replace line. Find what you type cool. Replace with 1. Usually cool is number 1, heat is number 2 and off is 0. Then press Replace All and OK. Now all cool values you have under number 1 and it's easy to make a chart. Another case, you might get recordings like that. As you can see, every other row is empty. Here is what we need to do. Select the top left cell. Press and hold Shift and scroll down to the very bottom. Click on the empty cell. Go to Find and Select drop-down. Select Go to Special. Check on the blanks. Press OK. Now only blank cells are selected. Then you go to the Cells Delete, drop down and select Delete Sheet Rows. Now you see all empty rows deleted. Remember, all columns head should be on the row number 7. Ctrl+Shift+J and the table is nice and clear. Once again, this approach is how I'm doing it. It is technically depend on person's Excel skills and person's analyze approach. If you know and want to share any other ways you believe it works better, leave your reaction and comments below. Have a wonderful time. Bye.